a particular teacher, Don Umberto Sonco, and his wife, Doña Bernardina, that were initiated as a sacred healing couple in their traditional villages 50 years before. And we were having a conversation. I was asking him, what is the biggest trouble you see when you perform healings for people of the Western world? And he said, the saddest thing for me is when I call their pacarinas and their ituapus, they start to cry. And so I said, well, explain this to me. And he said, well, your pacarina is your nature mom, right? Mm-hmm. And your ituapu is your nature dad. So from their point of view, our identity is not binary. It's not a human mom and a dad, and you're the kid, and that's it. It's quaternary. At least quaternary. You have 4 parents. We have a nature mother and a nature father. And our human mom and dad give us the basis, the beginning of our life, our body and our culture and our language and, our basic DNA. And our nature mom and dad hold all the living energy we need to accomplish our destiny. So they're the ones supplying living energy literally to our bubbles, to our energetic field. They're supplying information and energy that we need to accomplish our destiny. So the mountain nearest where you're born is your nature dad. And when he said this, he said to me, you guys, when I call your nature mom and dad, you often, so many people respond by, they burst into tears, they cry, and I'm just wondering why it is that you guys are so disconnected from your nature mom and dad. And I looked at him and I said, you mean you're always connected? And he looked at me and said, and you mean you're not? And this sort of cross-cultural epiphanous moment where we both went, oh my God, that's incredible. And we understood something from each other that really helped both of us, I think, because then I was able to see from his point of view, why these people are so calm and so happy, even though they have nothing. They're some of the poorest people on the planet. They have very little food. They live in little stone huts up on top at 14,000 feet. Super high altitude. There's no doctors. There's no stores. There's no roads. There's no electricity. There's no all of these modern conveniences that we have. But they have a calm and a peacefulness and a happiness because they feel the love from Mother Earth and from their nature mom and dad, and along with their human mom and dad. They feel love. They know where they belong. They are connected. And they are harmonious people. They're lovely to be around because they're so peaceful and relaxed, and they're just happy. They're well.
Nice.
And not to mean they never have problems, of course they do. But this point of view, I think, is such a key of our very identities, that if we understood ourselves as so intimately connected to nature, if the river near our house is our mom, how are we going to not take care of her? How could you pollute your mom, right?
Yeah.
How could you blast a hole with a stick of dynamite in your dad, right? And if you feel this very personal, intimate connection, of course, you're going to be more relaxed and more happy and more whole and feel more healthy. And then you're also going to be having a completely different point of view about how to do things in the world. In Peru, you don't build a house without making an offering to the spirit of the Mother Earth spirit of that place, right? And you make an offering, and maybe she'll tell you, this is not a good place to build a house because whatever, there's going to be a flood here, or it's a earthquake zone, or or for whatever reason. And so if we're able to simply listen to nature and, take it more seriously, that the fact that we communicate in all these different ways, in all these different levels of us. We communicate through our bubble of living energy. We do it with each other, with human beings all the time, where we perceive each other. You can perceive when someone's angry or sad or happy or depressed without them saying any words. Yeah. We perceive each other intuitively and energetically. And that skill and that capacity translates as well to the rest of the world. There's a lot of people now that are very good at animal communication. And there's beautiful documentaries about people communicating with animals and native indigenous people like the Eskimos communicating with whales. And that information is now being taken more seriously by scientists because they understand that this is actually real. It's not a fantasy. This is not a story that someone made up, a fiction. This is a real fact that it's part of our ability as human beings. And it's a very important and necessary part of our ability to communicate. So if you're talking about communication,
Yes.
it's more than just human.
Yeah, that's very true.
I would say. And so that's what the Quero people are experts in. But because they always say, because we don't have any doctors, because we don't have any hospitals, because we don't have any roads and stores and medicine, the only thing we have is nature. So we better be very good at talking to her and getting what we need, from the natural world, because that's all there is. That's all they have up there at 14,000 feet on the mountain.